Hi all, welcome to Yoke's YouTube channel. Exciting news for ONIP. A lot of excitement in the air, especially for people who have been waiting for their ONIP draws. ONIP has made invitations as of June 3rd, 2025 in various, pretty much all of the ONIP streams have been invited, which is exciting news. So let's dive deep into it and see who has been invited, what was the score, and so looking at it, June 3rd, 2025, ONIP, there was a draw. It was under the employer job offer streams. The REDI pilot programs has been invited. And also health occupations also has been invited. So it was basically, they had split it into five different streams that were invited. So the first one is the employer job offer stream. So it was candidates in Eastern Ontario were invited, which is very extraordinary because the ONIP hasn't done any region-based draws. It's the first time that they have done it, especially for Eastern Ontario. So that includes places such as Ottawa, Leeds and Greenville, Lanark, Peterborough, Dundas and Glengarry, Renfrew, um, Quatra Lakes, and so on. A lot of the Eastern Ontario places were included from Eastern Ontario, and 334 targeted invitations happened. So, which is quite exciting. The numbers are huge, and also the second stream that they have invited is employer job offer streams. Candidates in the Northern Ontario were invited. So, Northern Ontario is basically Muskoka, Nipissing, Sudbury, Thunder Bay. They were invited in that region, and 973 targeted invitations were given. So, just looking at the scores of how much was the score for the Eastern Ontario. So it was 85 and above, where 334 invitations were made, and all the three streams were invited in that. And looking at the Northern Ontario stream, they had an employer job offer international student stream in the Northern Ontario, where the number of invitations were 593 and 54 and above were invited. And also the 391 invitations were invited in the foreign worker stream in candidates in the Northern Ontario region, and 56 and above were the score range. So, apart from the Northern Ontario and Eastern Ontario stream, there was also an employer job offer ready um, candidates were invited. That's actually the first draw in the Ready pilot program. They had introduced that program earlier this year, but they hadn't have had any invitations as such. So it was the first one. And so to be eligible under the Ready pilot program, there was nothing specific. You just had to create an expression of interest in either of the streams, either international student stream, foreign worker stream, or the in-demand stream, and you were eligible for the Ready pilot. So they had invited all the three streams under the Ready pilot as well, and 843 targeted invitations was made just for the Ready pilot candidates. So that's a huge number, looking at it, and the outcome has been good. So people who have been residing in the Ready pilot regions, you might have received your invitations if you did meet the scores. And also the other stream is the employer job offer stream. Candidates in healthcare occupations were invited. So, what the main criteria for the healthcare occupations were, score should have been 68 and above, and foreign worker and the employer job offer foreign worker stream and international student streams were invited under the healthcare occupations. 68 and above, and also in-demand stream occupation was also invited, 34 and above, but only for a one particular NOC code, the home support workers, NOC 44101. So if you are a candidate who had that particular NOC code, you would have received your invitation if you met the 34 and above score. So the um, for the international student stream and the foreign worker stream healthcare occupations, they have invited most of the healthcare occupations such as the nurse aides, and also the nurse practitioners, your registered nurses, pharmacy, your physician assistants. Pharmacy assistants was not invited in this particular category. And also the general practitioners and specialists in surgery. If you had an NOC code of such of the list that they had mentioned and 68 and above score, and there has been invitation for all over GTA or inside GTA or outside GTA receive that invitation for the healthcare occupations. So whereas they had their region specific draws for the all NOC codes, they had region specific draws, but for the healthcare they had for all over GTA and inside GTA. And also another one more last specific draw that they had was the employer job offer foreign worker stream. Targeted occupation was invited, of which career development practitioners and career counselors, except education. So that is NOC 41321. If you had a score of 45 and above, and you belong to the employer job offer foreign worker stream, you would have received the invitations. So looking at it, ONIP did provide a huge invitation from what we were waiting for the past 7 months with no invitations and wondering what was going on in ONIP. Yes, they will be processing. They have a lot of backlogs which are still being processed, and they will be processing that slowly. So the processing time for this ONIP invitation is expected to be quite delayed. So if you did get an invitation, my recommendation is not to decline it, because you do not know what the future of what your future would be if you would receive another invitation. So it's always best to accept it, provided you have all the conditions of the ONIP employer job offer streams met. So that's mainly what I have to say. And also, Eastern Ontario, as I mentioned, Eastern Ontario, that region has not received a specific invitation in the past ONIP draws. This could be due to the audit report that they had produced. ONIP had an audit report in 2024 which was produced, and it did say that there was a lot of draws. Most of the draws which happened in 2024 was targeting towards GTA, and it was very unfair that not all regions did receive ONIP, because Ontario, there is a lot of regionalized ONIP draws as well. So that's why they did pick this particular region, Eastern Ontario. So they had to somehow do some kind of work to um, get that audit report, to basically, because they will be scrutinized on that. ONIP will be scrutinized for on that. So they had to bring up a draw for Eastern Ontario, which was said was neglected during the 2024 year. So that is why you have the people in the Eastern Ontario specifically have received a draw, which is a good sign. So if you are eligible and your employer is supportive, go ahead and create your ONIP expression of interest. We are always here to help you out, as there are a lot of things that need to be looked at when creating your ONIP expression of interest, because most of the people, they go ahead and create their expression of interest without knowing if my employer is really going to support me. But that's a very important factor to know, that if your employer really supports you, because as invitations are received, even 3,750 invitation has gone out as of June 3rd, 2025. But I do know a lot of people do not even know if their employer is supporting them. So you have actually taken up the spot from someone else at this for this particular invitation. So let's consider everyone and the people around you when you go ahead and create your expression of interest. Please be sure for a fact that your employer is supporting you before you can create that expression of interest. So you do not want to decline it after you receive an invitation. So that's all in terms of the ONIP draw that came out. And if you do have questions, please always reach out to us, and we are always happy to help you out. Be, be it creating your expression of interest, your queries, consultations, we are always here to help you out. Thank you for tuning in. See you in the next video.